Well, folks, it's time for another injury report, and this time both teams are pretty banged up. Let's talk about it. Shout out to Sleeper, by the way. More on them a little bit later on in this video. Okay, let's just go ahead and dive right into it. This is per the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, by the way, and it's a long list. You have Mike Evans with his hamstring injury not participating on Wednesday or Thursday. It is important to note that Wednesday's practice was a walkthrough, a little bit lighter of a practice, give some of these guys a chance to recover from some of their injuries. Godwin has a new injury. It is a fibula injury. Did not participate in Wednesday or Thursday's practices. I haven't really seen anything indicating that Godwin won't be playing in this upcoming game, but obviously that is something worth paying attention to. Bucky Irving, foot and shoulder injuries, no participation Wednesday or Thursday. Zion McCollum, no participation Wednesday or Thursday due to a thumb injury. He had a thumb procedure done, I believe it was after the Seattle Seahawks game. Right now, whether or not he will or won't play is a pain tolerance issue per Todd Bowles, the head coach of this football team. Benjamin Morrison did not participate Wednesday or Thursday due to a hamstring injury as well. Teddy Bridgewater was added to the injury report with a right shoulder injury. He was limited on Thursday. You then have Levante David limited Wednesday and Thursday with a knee injury. Christian Izien is getting back into the fold with his quad injury, limited Wednesday and Thursday as well. Tristan Wirfs still recovering from his knee injury, was limited Wednesday and Thursday. And big one here, Jamel Dean might be on the way back, limited Wednesday, full go on Thursday. Now there's a lot to dive into this one right here, right? Let's start off with the wide receiver room. Let's assume that Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are not going to be playing in this game. We don't know about Chris Godwin yet. I do want to preface that, and we haven't really seen anything to say that he isn't going to be playing in this upcoming matchup, but let's just assume for the sake of these purposes, Godwin and Evans are not available. Who would step up? Well, the immediate answer is Emeka Egbuka. He is fourth in the NFL right now in receiving yards. I think he's tied for third in receiving touchdowns. He'd be getting a lot of targets in this upcoming game if Evans and Godwin could not go. A couple of other names worth mentioning. I always got to mention Sterling Shepard. He is a guy who's been really underrated so far this year, and really for the past couple of years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he's done some really good work. He would step up in the absence of Godwin and Evans. Of course, Tez Johnson, who's coming off of the best game of his career so far to this point. Last week, he had 4 catches, 50, 60 plus yards in there as well. Those are the 3 receivers that would be stepping up in the potential absences of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. But folks, before we dive a little bit deeper into this, I do want to say shout out to the sponsor of this channel. It is Sleeper. If you guys do use the code MrBucs, you will get a $100 deposit match up to $100. Again, that is whenever you use the code MrBucs. Guys, new thing that they've rolled out as well, just for signing up, you get a $20 deposit, I guess is the word to use, just for signing up. You don't even have to make a deposit. They just give you $20 for free. So make sure you go download the Sleeper app today. Enjoy sports the way it was meant to be. That is together. Now back to this injury report with Bucky Irving. He didn't play last week. We saw Rachaad White come in, and he did some good work. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, was really effective as a pass blocker, as a receiving back. He would be still that guy to step up as the lead back. Sean Tucker really didn't get a lot of work last week, so I am curious to see if they would use him more against the 49ers. You do also have Josh Williams on the practice squad. He was mainly there, or on the roster, I should say. He was mainly their returner last week, which was an interesting choice in my opinion, because Cameron Johnson's been doing pretty well, and they just signed Owen Wright to the practice squad. They could elevate him on game day if needed. Zion McCollum and Benjamin Morrison not being available potentially is a big thing as well. Again, haven't necessarily seen anything to the contrary about McCollum, playing. So, or McCollum not playing, I guess. I don't know how I'm trying to word this. I haven't seen anything that is explicitly saying that Zion McCollum will not be playing, right? There is a very legitimate chance that he could play. But if he cannot go, and if Benjamin Morrison is still dealing with his hamstring injury, that's obviously your number 1 and your number 3 cornerbacks out for this game. What would the Buccaneers do? Well, the fact that Jamel Dean was full go on Thursday, huge news. If McCollum and Morrison cannot go, Dean would be your number one cornerback. Given how banged up the 49ers are, the wide receiver room, this may be a storm that they could weather. We'll talk about their injury report here in a little bit because it is right beneath the Bucs one here. Also, you had Jacob Parrish playing inside and outside last week. They put a lot of responsibility on him, and I think he held up just fine. Kindle Vidor was out there as well as a veteran outside cornerback. Josh Hayes is still on this roster. On the practice squad, they have Demarion Williams and Bryce Hall. Bryce Hall, I said it last week that they really should have elevated him, but they didn't, so I am curious to see, with McCollum and Morrison being on the mend, if now this will be the chance to say, okay, Bryce Hall, you're elevated, go in there. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see on that. Teddy, I don't know, bro. I mean, he was probably throwing some practice throws and hurt his shoulder, I guess. Sore shoulder. I don't know. But, I mean, if he can't go, Connor Bazelak's on the practice squad, so I guess you would elevate him as the backup for this upcoming game. Weird. I don't know. It's interesting. Levante, Izzian, Wirfs, and Dean all seem like they're going to be playing in this upcoming game, which is good because Izzian gives you an option at nickel cornerback. You can slot him into that nickel and then move Parrish full-time to the outside if you need to. Izzian's a really important guy to this secondary, everybody. And then, of course, Wirfs, David, Dean. Yeah, I think that those guys will all play. Now to take a quick look at the 49ers. Injury report, and it's a pretty long list, everybody. It's a pretty long list. Let's go. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me go ahead and see if I can pull up the 49ers depth chart just to make sure I can give you guys like as much clear information as possible. Okay, so I've got the depth chart up here. So let's go ahead and take a little quick look-see back at their injury report and match it up with their depth chart. So, firstly, we have Robert Beal Jr. not participating in Wednesday or Thursday's practices. He is a defensive lineman. It looks like he's the third defensive end for them right now, behind guys like Yetur Gross-Matos, Bryce Huff, and Mikael Williams, and Sam Okinayu. That guy. So it looks like he's their fifth defensive lineman. Alfred Collins is also on the injury report with a knee injury, limited on Wednesday, or limited on Thursday. No participation on Wednesday. Alfred Collins, it looks like he's their third defensive tackle. So that is a bit of an interesting note there. Yetur Gross-Matos, again, no participation Wednesday or Thursday, knee and hamstring injury. He is their backup defensive end behind Bryce Huff, according to the ESPN depth chart. Juwan Jennings, ankle and ribs, no participation Wednesday or Thursday. He is one of their starting receivers. In fact, I think without Brandon Ayuk, I think Juwan Jennings is their number one wide receiver, so he is not practicing Wednesday or Thursday either. McCaffrey was full go. He had a rest day on Wednesday, full go on Thursday. He will likely be playing. Ricky Pearsall was no-go on Wednesday or Thursday. He is their number 2 wide receiver, it looks like, after Juwan Jennings, so he's the second guy in that mix. Brock Purdy did not go on Wednesday or Thursday. He's their starting quarterback. He is on the mend right now, and I don't believe he's playing in this upcoming game. Jordan Watkins did not go, another wide receiver. No participation on Wednesday or Thursday with a calf injury. Jordan Watkins, it looks like he is like their number 7 wide receiver, something like that on the depth chart. So that is what it is. Trent Williams also had a rest day. He is good to go. Kalia Davis is one of their starting defensive tackles in the 4-3 defense. Limited Wednesday and Thursday with a hand injury. Kevin Givens is on the IR, but it looks like he might return at some point. He's currently on the IR, but he was limited Wednesday and Thursday with a pectoral injury, so maybe he'll return at some point, but it doesn't seem like it will be in this game. Mac Jones, the backup quarterback, was limited Wednesday and Thursday with a knee and oblique injuries. If he can't go, Curtis Rourke, their 4th quarterback, is out, so you'd be looking at Adrian Martinez, who is in his first season, and I think he was undrafted out of Kansas State. Or no, is he undrafted? He might have been undrafted last year, but it looks like he's an undrafted guy out of Kansas State. He is on the the active roster for the 49ers here. So he might be that starting quarterback if Mac Jones could not go, or if he does play and these injuries limit him. Upton Stout was limited Wednesday and Thursday due to an ankle injury. Upton Stout is one of the backup cornerbacks for the... No, actually, he's the starting nickelback for the 49ers, according to their ESPN depth chart. So he was limited Wednesday and Thursday. CJ West, defensive lineman, is the fourth defensive lineman, I believe, on their interior. So he's a fourth defensive tackle. Limited Wednesday and Thursday with a thumb injury. Kendrick Bourne was full go. He is now their number one wide receiver. It's Kendrick Bourne, Demarcus Robinson, Sky Moore, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. That's their four wide receivers. So Kendrick Bourne is their number one. He had 100 yards last week. Very impressive game for him. Thomas Morstead, former New Orleans Saint, by the way, was full go. Malik Mustafa is one of their starting... Let's see, where is Malik Mustafa? He's one of their backup safeties, it looks like. It looks like he's like the fifth safety on the depth chart. He was full go Wednesday and Thursday. And Mikael Williams, wrist oblique, he's one of their starting defensive ends, was full go Wednesday and Thursday. A lot of freaking names on here, huh, everybody? Golly. But that's it for the injury report. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions. I'd love to hear about it down in the comments section below. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.